Chag Sameach, everyone. It's wonderful to see folks this evening as we celebrate confirmation. And, looking at all the pictures on the wall, it's a long and beautiful tradition. And, this is, just as I've gotten to know the students just a little bit this year, you just see the deep connection that all of them have with the congregation. It's very, very beautiful, and the deep connection they had with Rabbi Meyer. The service this evening will be using the evening festival service, and throughout the service, members of the class will be sharing speeches on different topics related to confirmation, and will share a Torah reading. I'd like to invite Rabbi Allison to come to light the holiday candles. You can sing the blessing. John, can you sing the blessing?
Sure.
John will sing the blessing. Eloheinu melech haolam asher tishanu b'mitzvotav v'sivanu le'hadlik ner shel yom tov. There are wonderful traditions with confirmation. In Savannah, Georgia, the congregation was founded in 1733, and they have a chain which is very long with engraved plaques with all of the names of the class. In San Antonio, they have a serious chain because it's Texas. But here, which is really beautiful, the members of the Board of Trustees will stand in the aisle so that they'll be welcoming the students, and they'll be presenting a floral offering. I'd like to invite the board to come in. And please rise as we open the ark. And now we welcome our confirmation students. Toti Bani lo haroel bashoshanim toti li bani lo haroel bashoshanim dodili mizotola min hamidbar mizotola mi hamidbar.
Long ago, on this festival of Shavuot,
Our ancestors rejoiced as they brought to the temple in Jerusalem the first fruits of their harvest, the finest product of their orchards and vineyards. In this way, they expressed their reverence for the beauty of nature and the mystery of life. Thus did they proclaim their gratitude for its continuous renewal and rebirth. We too follow this tradition as we bring our flowers into the sanctuary. But the harvest we bring is a spiritual harvest, our symbolic of our desire to give ourselves, our hearts, our wills, and our strengths to the service of our people. In this spirit do we place the flowers in the ark. They possess the secret yearning of all life to blossom forth goodness and beauty. May they symbolize for us all as well the blessings of life and hope. May their place in the ark by the Torah inspire within us the perpetual love of learning and the compulsion to act ethically in the world. May the love of the good, the passion for justice, and the joy of living always be the central yearnings of our lives as we confirm our place within Judaism on this day.
Please remain standing for the bar fruit. Lie, 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 lie,
We continue on page 131. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence.
Praised are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever living, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'avrim avaravim. We continue on page 135.
Sinai was only the beginning. The Torah has never ceased to grow. In every age it has been purified and enlarged. It has a permanent core and expanding periphery. It expands as the horizon of our vision grows. Nor are God's revelations confined to Israel. God has been the inspiration of the great and good among all families of the earth. God's love and guidance reach out to all the world. We continue with the Shema on page 136.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam. Amen.
Please be seated. We continue with Via Hafta on page 138. Please join in with me. Via Hafta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha uv'chol nefecha uv'chol meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Elohim mitzvacha hayom al levavecha v'sheitam levenecha v'dibar tabam v'shvicha v'vitecha ulecha derech u'shebecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'chayu liftafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot bitecha u'visharecha v'man titzgeru v'asitem echol mitzvotai v'yitem koshim v'elochehem ani Adonai Elohehem asher hotzet etem me'eretz Mitzrayim lechot lechem Elohim ani Adonai Elohehem. We continue on page 141. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is like a broken winged bird, which cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. Hold fast to dreams.
Page 142. Mi chamocha. Lai 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 yada lai 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 yada 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 lai 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 yada lai 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 mi chamocha Ayrim Adonai, mi kamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, norati lo, hosef elef, norati lo, hosef elef, ma'alechutecha, ra'u banecha, Bochkei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Zeli zeli anu ve'amiru Adonai lo leolam va'ed Yai dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yada dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, dai 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 dai.
Good evening. One of my most meaningful experiences at Temple Emanu-El so far has been working with Stephanie in the 2nd and 3rd grade class. Every Sunday morning for the past 2 years, I would go to Stephanie's classroom to help. We would learn Bible stories and talk about holidays each season. The kids especially enjoyed the mitzvah tree activity. For this activity, each student thought of 3 mitzvahs they had done during the week. They would collect 3 stickers from the madrahim to put on a tree poster. If the students collect enough stickers, they would win a tree at the end of the year. Activities like the mitzvah tree are parts of the temple I will continue to remember. As a student in Sunday school and a student now in the confirmation class, I will continue to learn about Judaism. My favorite lesson this year was about the Torah, specifically how a Torah scroll is made. Rabbi Crystal showed the confirmation class the specific materials that are used to write a Torah, and he taught us about his teacher who had written and constructed Torahs himself. It reminded me of the time when there was a Torah writing project at the temple where each family would contribute 1 Hebrew letter. I was still in Sunday school at the time, and I remember it being a cool experience. Another significant experience I had through the temple was volunteering for the Hebrew school. This winter, I helped Stephanie teach the 3rd grade the Hebrew alphabet. My job was to listen to the kids reading from their books and check to see if they completed their assignments correctly. It had been a long time since I became bat mitzvah, but I was nervous about my Hebrew being rusty. But after listening to the students reading, I was able to remember and help with their Hebrew. Overall, my experiences so far at the temple have been very meaningful, and I cannot wait to make more memories during the next 2 years. I'd like to thank Rabbi Crystal for teaching me this year, Rabbi Allison, Stephanie Gladstone, and my family. Thank you.
When I was invited to go on the Litaken trip, I said yes without hesitation. It was a weekend with my friends in Washington, D.C., and I even got to miss school. I didn't consider that this trip would change the way I thought about myself and my Jewish community. As someone who has grown up in a very politically active family, I have always heard about different laws being passed by powerful people. So when I heard about the Litaken trip, designed to teach us how to lobby for a cause, I thought it would be pretty pointless. I thought to myself, I'm just a kid. I have no say in the government. I can't even vote. On the trip, I joined a large group of Jewish youth from around the country. We learned how the representative nature of the U.S. government makes lobbying effective, even for kids like us. We learned about social injustices and how we can help address them by lobbying for change we need. My group focused on mental health, specifically providing mental health resources to students. We talked with an aide to Senator Ed Markey, as well as Representative Seth Moulton, about Mental Health Services for Students Act. Representative Moulton made us aware that it was a bill he hadn't heard of. We explained what it meant to us, what it meant to other citizens like us, and why it was important to us as Jews. He told us that he was willing to support it and explained what bills like those meant to him. The Torah tells a story that I find to be parallel to my experience with the Litaken trip. Exodus 3, 1-15 tells the story of Moses and the burning bush. While tending sheep, Moses encountered a burning bush. It was burning, but it hadn't been consumed by the flames. Through it, God called to him, "Moses, Moses," to which Moses responded, "Here I am." God tells Moses that he has seen the suffering of Israelites in Egypt, and then asks that he free them. Moses was hesitant and unsure of his ability. God promised to be with Moses along the way, and Moses overcame his reluctance. He promised to help free his people, and as we all know, this was the decision that eventually freed the Jewish people from Egypt. Although the scale of my actions is nowhere near that of Moses's, there are some parallels that can be drawn from my actions to his. Like Moses, I had a cause to fight for. Moses fought for his fellow Israelites enslaved in the land of Egypt, while I was fighting for students like me to get the help they needed. 15% of students have seriously considered suicide in the past year, which makes the cause of mental health very important to me. Moses was hesitant to join the cause like I was. He didn't think he had what it took to free the Jewish people from the Egyptians. Similarly, I didn't think that my words would mean anything to politicians in charge of hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people. And just as Moses did, I surpassed that hesitation. Moses was convinced by the support of God. And similarly, I felt comfort knowing that I was backed by hundreds of other Jewish students who went to D.C. with me that weekend. Knowing that I was with a massive group of people with the same beliefs as me helped me understand that I wasn't just speaking for myself, I was speaking for them and countless others. Our opinions hold immense power, even when we feel like our voices are too small to make a difference. In democratic society, every opinion contributes to the collective voice that shapes our laws and policies. The Litaken trip taught me that advocacy is not limited by our age or status. Instead, it is dependent on the passion behind the words of those pushing for change. By sharing our perspectives, we can influence decision makers and bring attention to issues that might otherwise be overlooked. Our opinions matter because they reflect our values and concerns, and when we come together to express them, we can create meaningful change. The act of lobbying, even as young students, demonstrated that our voices can resonate in the halls of power and lead to real, impactful outcomes. Looking back on my experience with the Litaken trip, I realized how much it has shaped my understanding of civic engagement and the power that the support of a community, in this case, Jews, has. It taught me that our opinions are not just individual thoughts, but potential catalysts for change. By advocating for mental health resources, I learned that my voice, supported by a community of like-minded individuals, could influence significant legislative action. This experience has instilled in me a sense of responsibility to continue speaking out for what I believe in, knowing that every voice, including mine, is crucial. Like Moses responding to God's call, I've embraced the power of advocacy, knowing that if we work together, we can create a better future for all.
We continue on page 144 with Grant, O God. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim.
Please rise in body, posture, or spirit. We continue on page 204.
Adonai sefatatita ufia itehilatecha. Adonai, open up thy lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch
atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'yotei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah.
Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora Elyon Gomer Hasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'voker Haseyavot V'imao
Michael Hako Ata, Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hata, Michael Chaim Bechesed, Michael Hako Berachabim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berachech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishene Yachar, Michal Mocha Ba'agivurot, Umido Melach, Melech Nenim, Umechayem, Udmatzmia Yeshua, V'net Tachayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
Your might, O God, renews the earth. With dewdrops of light and blessing, let the earth be illuminated and blessed. With dewdrops of joy and delight, let the earth rejoice and sing out. With dewdrops of life and well-being, let the earth be revived and improved. With dewdrops of redemption, let the earth be redeemed.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We continue on page 215.
Three times a year you shall hold a festival for me. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, eating unleavened bread for 7 days as I have commanded you, at the end of the month of Eve. For in it you went forth from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty-handed. And the feast of harvest, for the first fruit of your work, of what you sow in the field, and the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather the results of your work from in the field.
We continue on page 217. Many generations later, redeemed from slavery, Abraham and Sarah's descendants stood at Mount Sinai. The ancient promise was to be confirmed, the ancient mandate reasserted and enlarged, the ancient covenant renewed and sealed to bind all future generations. When God revealed the Torah, no bird chirped, no fowl beat its wings, no ox bellowed, the angels did not sing, the sea did not stir, no creature uttered a sound. The world was silent and still, and the divine voice spoke, I, the Eternal, am your God. We continue on page 218.
Bestow upon us the blessing of your holy festivals, and may we so celebrate them as to be worthy of your blessing. Our God and God of our ancestors, make us holy with your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our way of life. May our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Let your holy festivals remain our heritage, and let us celebrate them with joy, so that all Israel, hallowing your name, may cause to rejoice. We praise you, Adonai, who sanctifies the house of Israel in the festivals. Baruch atah Adonai Bekadesh Yisrael v'hasmanim. We continue on page 222.
We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shema ul ha-nehe lechodot. We continue with Shalom Rav on page 224.
Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atah hu melech adon lecho ha-shalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. B'tov Levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol ein ub'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav ha-Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Hi, my name is Graham Firestone, and I'm 17. I've been part of this temple for about 9 years now. I've heard many stories and learned many things. I've gone from learning and growing in a classroom to helping others learn and grow as a madrahim. I've loved participating and volunteering over the years in various fundraising and charity events. I've loved becoming a madrahim and working with the kids. I loved being part of the community and giving back to it. Throughout the 9 or so years I've been part of Temple Emanu-El, there have been some key memories that have stood out to me. As a student, every day we had about an hour where we would travel over to the synagogue and sit down and sing and pray and listen to stories. Rabbi Meyer would tell us stories from the Torah. They were consecutive, and throughout the year we would hear stories from the burning bush to our escape from Egypt to getting the 10 Commandments from Mount Sinai. Each story was laced with lessons and ideals, but they were kept entertaining and enjoyable. I looked forward to his stories each time I went to the temple. I remember the worst part of missing temple was missing a part of his story. In my confirmation, we learned about morality and what Judaism and the Torah teaches us is wrong. Through all of this, I think I realized why Judaism is so important to me. I'm going to contradict myself here, but the Torah doesn't just tell us what is wrong or what is right. It gives us an environment where we can reflect upon our own ideals and morals. Being Jewish means being part of something so large, something rich with knowledge and understanding. It means that we can have conversations with people just like us, facing the same problems hundreds of years ago. Take the Talmud, for example. During my early parts of confirmation, we went over the Talmud. For those of you who don't know, the Talmud is a compilation of ancient teachings from Jews about 1,500 years ago. There were many stories and lessons we learned about, but I remember one story that I feel epitomizes this. It was a story about a man carrying a vase on a busy street. There was a man behind him carrying a plank. The man with the plank was carrying it to a construction zone. The man with the vase was traveling to a market to sell his newly made vase. The man with the vase suddenly stopped. There was no one in front of him. Nothing that one would reasonably assume would make someone stop. The man with the plank bumped into the man, who consequently dropped the vase, shattering it. Rabbi Meyer then asked us, who has to pay for the vase? On one hand, the man with the vase could have been more aware of his surroundings. But on the other hand, the man with the plank should have been prepared to stop. If a young boy had run in front of the man with the vase, he would have needed to stop. So who is at fault? The man who stopped when he shouldn't have, or the man who should have been prepared to stop? This is the essence of Judaism. Learnings and lessons that don't just give us an answer, but they allow you to make your own decisions and own choices and compare them against others who have faced the same situations. I find myself thinking about these lessons and finding the joy in letting them resonate without yet knowing a definitive answer. And that's part of what I love about Judaism, the wonder. I would like to thank Rabbi Meyer, Rabbi Allison, and Rabbi Crystal, and all the Emanu-El staff for my great Jewish youth education. I've enjoyed all the learning and joy that has come from my time here, and I will continue to cherish it for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Since the start of high school, confirmation has been a space where we learn where Jewish values coincide with everyday things or other things that we think less about. One of the lessons that resonated with me was when we talked about the Jewish position concerning the death penalty. This can change from person to person, but also varies between Orthodox, Reform, or Conservative. We can also see a very big difference between Old versus New, Talmudic versus Biblical versus Rabbinic and Medieval. Wherever you look, you'll get a different perspective. As time has passed, there has been a tremendous change in the way many people think concerning this topic. Many people want to get rid of the death penalty and capital punishment in general. These align with the more modern denominations of Judaism with Reform and Conservatives. These areas emphasize more ethical teachings, the values of repentance, and the potential for human or judicial error. The rabbinic and medieval perspectives agree with this side and add that human life is very important. One of the philosophers, Maimonides, said, "It is better to acquit 1,000 guilty persons than to execute one innocent life." The Talmud also shows a more cautious approach. The rabbis of the Talmudic era put in a long procedural safeguard that is designed to make the times of use of the death penalty few and far between. The Mishnah in Sanhedrin 4:5 requires the testimony of 2 eyewitnesses and must agree on all materials, and any discrepancy could invalidate their entire testimony. Also, with more and more cases of an innocent person being found guilty and sent to jail, people want to abolish this and not have someone who is found guilty of a crime they never committed die. While some people want to get rid of it, the biblical and Orthodox teachings tell us the other side. The foundation of the Jewish stance starts with the Torah, which gives specific examples for different offenses. For instance, the Torah says capital punishment is used for murder, Exodus 21:12, kidnapping, Exodus 21:16, and certain sexual transgressions, Leviticus 20:10, are all punishable by death. Also, the principle of early law in many places comes from an eye for an eye, which is told to us in Exodus 21:24, and gives the basis that if you kill someone, you deserve to die for your actions. The Torah also gives us specific methods of execution, such as stoning, burning, and decapitation. The Torah adds on by saying that society should use the death penalty as means of maintaining order and justice. Orthodox Judaism, while using the death penalty, are reluctant to use it and will only use it in extreme cases. This stance is due to the Jewish courts lacking authority to impose capital punishment. Both sides to this coin are very different, yet come from what we learn in Judaism. Each person has a different belief, and it varies between people depending on what you were told and learned when you grew up. With all this being said, people change over time, and even though you are told and learned something when you grew up, you might change perspectives in the future. You just need to keep an open mind and be able to listen to both sides. In my personal opinion on this matter, this has changed over time. When I was younger, I thought no person deserved to die for their actions, and that there's always a chance that people can change. Now looking back on my younger self, my thoughts were too open and too naive. Now part of that has stayed the same, in that we should be reluctant to use it. Some people should be executed for their actions, but the most important part is to keep an open mind and just be aware of other people and listen to both sides. I'd like to thank Rabbi Crystal, Rabbi Allison, and everyone else who was able to guide me along this path. At Sunday School, we've talked about many different topics that have tied back to Jewish values, and we'll try to keep these in mind for the future. And as a quote from The Truman Show, good morning, good evening, and good night.
Say shalom imroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, imru amen, yase shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu, Yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yakol Yisrael.
We continue with the Torah service. What is Torah? It is what God has revealed to us and what we have come to understand about God. It is the ideas and ideals, the laws and commandments that make up our religious heritage. It is the experience of Abraham, the legislation of Moses, the vision of the prophets, the commentary of the rabbis, and the insights of the mystics. It is the questions we ask, the answers we receive, when we seek to understand God, the world, and ourselves. Studying the Torah has affected daily life for our people for generations. It teaches us today, as a more modern meaning, is brought to Torah about the values of the past and how we relate them to situations today. Torah is important because in reading Torah, it is very easy to find yourself and get an idea about values and heritage.
The Torah has been sacred to the Jewish people ever since we received it. Not only is its origin sacred, but its content. Therein lies a great and important part of our history. Without the knowledge of the Torah, our religion could not exist. Its workings and the beliefs it introduced are fundamental truths. Upon this base, we have built customs, laws, and traditions. In addition, the Torah is a source of strength and reassurance. At services, the congregation faces a holy presence that emanates and is a reminder of God's protection and our faith in this covenant. In this still silence, pride fills each individual. When the Torah is brought around the congregation, we extend our prayer books to it to feel joy for its existence. The love for the Torah connects us to God and gives us a path to lead for our lives.
Please rise in body, posture, for spirit.
Sharim Rashechem Usu Pichei Olam V'yavo Melech HaKavod Yavo Melech HaKavod Hallelujah Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Gadol Shemo Gadol Adonai Iti Umeramim Shemo Yadav Al Shloshah Divarim Al Shloshah Divarim Al Shloshah Divarim Ha'olam Omer Al Torah Ve'al Avoda Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim Al Torah Ve'al Avoda Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim Lo Yisagoy El Goy Cheref Yimildu Milchava Yisagoy El Goy Teref Yimildu Milchava Lo Yisagoy El Goy Teref Lo Yimildu Milchava Lo Yisagoy El Goy Teref Lo Yimildu Milcham Yai Rai 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 Yai Rai 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 Yai Rai 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 Yai Rai 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 Rai.
Please be seated. This evening, our Torah reading is the Ten Commandments. We reenact the moment at Sinai when our ancestors received the Torah and said, Na'aseh v'nishma. Confirmation was created with the beginning of the Reform movement. With the roots of the Reform movement, the founders thought that at 13 bar bat mitzvah was too young to make a mature commitment and moved confirmation to age 15. According to legend, the 600,000 who left Egypt were present at that moment. All of those, the mixed multitude that left with them, all of the souls of future generations, and I like to believe that all of the souls of everyone with whom the Jewish community would share life, help bring justice and kindness into the world, were in some way present at that moment. And in this way, as the Torah is read this evening, it's an affirmation of passing on tradition for the students in our confirmation class. I can invite you all to come on over. And if I can invite me to find the card.
Amen. Vayidaber Elohim et kol hadvarim ha'ele lemor. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim. Lo Adonai
Yehiya
Lo Yehiya Lach Lecha Elohim Achrim El Panai Lo Teaseh Lach Pesel V'chotuna Asher B'shamayim Mimat Ve'asher Be'eretz Mitachat Ve'asher Be'mayim Mitachat Le'aretz.
Amen. Lo tisa et shem Adonai alecha lashav, ki lo yaneka Adonai asher yisa et shemo lashav, zechor et yom hashabbat lekadsho, sheshet yamin ta'avdo v'yasita kol malachtecha, v'yom hashvi'i shabbat Adonai alecha, La ta'asa kol malacha ata uvincha uvitecha v'daber umitecha ubivotecha v'gorecha asher bisharecha.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz et hayam v'kol asher ba'am v'yinach b'yom hashvi'i al ken Adonai barach et yom hashabbat v'yiketzehu keved et avicha v'et amecha. Leman yirichun yamecha al האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך. לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב, לא תענה ברעך עת שקר. לא תחמוד בית רעך, לא תחמוד אשת רעך, ועבדו ואמתו ושרו וחמרו וכל אשר לרעך. Amen.
Please rise in body, posture, or spirit.
You need to pull it back and then leverage it. Good job.
V'zot Torah asher sam Moshe
Livnei b'nei Yisrael pi Adonai v'yad. Good job. Moshe.
It's time we live up as it's it's time we live up
I've been a part of the Temple Emanu-El community for as long as I can remember. My mom was bat mitzvah at the temple, so being a member of this community has always been a part of my family's life. I've celebrated many holidays, partaken in many early morning Hebrew school classes, and even become a bar mitzvah, all in the last decade at Temple Emanu-El. I've learned to appreciate the time spent here with teachers, friends, and family, so I have grown and learned more about the history of my Jewish culture. I have many meaningful experiences, such as playing Gaga at the Purim carnivals, cooking from my brother's table at Smarty events, and of course, playing hide-and-seek while looking for the Afikoman. However, one meaningful experience at Temple Emanu-El stands out to me due to how it has changed my outlook on the importance of the Temple's community. This meaningful moment took place 4 years ago in Rabbi Meyer's office. In 6th grade, I was given one of my first big out-of-school projects. This project was to record a conversation between you and a longtime resident of Marblehead. My mind immediately went to Rabbi Meyer. I had my mom ask him because I was too nervous to ask him myself, and I was thrilled when my mom told me he enthusiastically accepted. I asked him questions about Marblehead and how it has changed, and he gave me thought-out answers with lighthearted stories to back them up. We talked about his childhood, his experiences in school, and of course embarrassing memories. After learning about his childhood in Kansas, I asked him about his early involvement with the temple. He replied with, 28 years ago, I came to be the rabbi of Temple Emanu-El. I didn't have any family or friends close by. We had enjoyed wonderful years in San Francisco and just assumed that when the senior rabbi retired, we would move back. However, when the opportunity came up, we decided that we were happy living here and raising our 2 sons in the town of Marblehead and as a part of the Temple Emanu-El community. This interview was only supposed to last 5 minutes, but we ended up chatting for over half an hour. The Temple Emanu-El community is important to me due to the fact that I am able to spend time amongst teachers who I can relate to and who commit themselves to the education and well-being of their students. Talking to Rabbi Meyer made me realize how important the temple is to me and a lot of you as well. I have made lifelong friends here and feel comfortable knowing I am always welcome as a member of this community. As I grow older, I'm sure I will forget about the early mornings I had to wake up for Hebrew school and the fancy dress clothes I had to wear on the high holidays. I will only remember meaningful moments like this, which help me remember the effect of the temple's community. Thank you.
Over the past few years, I have been to many classes with Rabbi Meyer and Rabbi Christel. I've been taught many valuable lessons from them over the years that help to guide me throughout life. However, one of the more meaningful lessons I've been taught was one relating to Purim. I remember when Rabbi Meyer told us after telling the story of Purim, that it was actually made up. I personally, a strong Purim enjoyer, was very surprised about this and wondered why the great rabbis of the past would make up this story. It is then when I looked back at our history, I realized why. I remembered for years we were persecuted, discriminated against, and segregated by most people we lived near. I realized that the rabbis wrote this so that we can look up to people like Mordecai and Esther, who stood up to their anti-Semitic haters and defeated them. Now I know that what I can take from Purim and the lesson about it that was taught to me is that if we stay up to our haters instead of bowing down like Haman wanted us to, then we can achieve anything. And always remember, they hate us because they ain't us. I'd like to thank Rabbi Meyer, Rabbi Christel, Rabbi Allison, and all the Emanu-El staff who helped guide me on through with a wonderful Jewish education. I'd like to thank my friends for always being there and my family for raising me the way I am.
Every morning, I wake up and I say the Moda Ani. The Moda Ani is the Hebrew morning prayer. Moda Ani lefaneho ruah chai v'kayim sheheretza bi nishma te bimleha rabba imuteka. In translation, this means, I offer thanks to you, God, for you have returned my soul to me in mercy. How great is your trust. I started saying this prayer earlier this year because of my preschoolers' music class with Maya. It was a silly, simple song that the kids would sing every morning service. When I thought about it, I figured it was a great way to start my day. I used to wake up in the morning and my first thoughts would be about school, drama, or typically something that bothered me. As sad as it sounds, my day more often than not started negatively. I started saying the Moda Ani every morning because of a preschool song, and it has changed me in so many ways. I think of it as a reminder that tomorrow is not promised, and to live every single day to its fullest. Thanking God for giving me another day has changed my perspective on many things. When I feel unlucky or upset about something, I remember that I get to experience these emotions, which is a blessing. Since becoming a Madrahim, I've learned a lot about Judaism and myself. I've become more mindful about God in my everyday life. God is not just with us when we're in temple, God is always with us. The Moda Ani reminds me that the day that's in front of me is so small compared to our routines. God can be more influential to us in our day-to-day routines than we realize. My Jewish faith has become enhanced over these past years in my recent studies and confirmation. I've learned more than ever now that I'm explaining these beliefs to preschoolers. I started saying the simple prayer from a preschool music class, and it has enriched my Jewish identity in so many ways. Thank you.
Wow. You all are just amazing. And this evening, as you led the service, it's a tribute to you, to everything that you've taken in here at the congregation, and to your teachers. the first time where in a confirmation service, each member of the class has shared a lesson. And you just brought things to life so beautifully. Shavuot celebrates the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. But what is Torah? So, 5 different ideas about what is Torah. Now, see if you can count in your own mind. See if you come up with any I don't come up with. Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Torah, the Torah scroll, and how the congregation wrote a Torah scroll. And when you open the ark, it's a living connection that those who were present to write letters have with Torah. Torah, Tanakh, the first 5 books of, Tanakh, the 39 books of the Bible in Judaism. The books of the Torah, the prophets, and the writings, Psalms and Job. Torah, all of Jewish learning. Everything on the Jewish bookshelf is Torah. The last idea from my friend Rabbi Lisa Kingston is your Torah. How each of you shared your Torah with us this evening. The way that the members of the class talked about their connection to God in prayer. How Torah has become their guide for confronting issues in the world. And how Torah helps bring kindness into the world. And how Torah can enrich our lives each and every day. This evening, you all have shared your Torah with us, and we're all so very, very grateful. And I'd offer you these words from our prayer book, and then we'll have blessings from the ark. May you live to see your word fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your hearts be filled with intuition, and your words be rich in understanding. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue, and your vision clarify a straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, and your fulfillment be in righteousness, even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the Ancient One of holiness. Now, we're going to do the blessing with the ark doors closed, just because otherwise people would be standing for a while. We offer blessings for confirmation for each student at the ark. to call on Rabbi Allison.
So, as Rabbi Crystal described, there are many different versions of Torah. So we are giving you one of the versions today. This is a Tanakh, so this is all 39 books. And it has every person's name inscribed upon it. And in the inside, it says, Kol asher diber Adonai na'aseh v'nishma. Everything that God has spoken, we will do and we will hear. And saying that it's a gift from Temple Emanu-El for each individual confirming a commitment to Jewish life and Jewish study. So I will call up each of the confirmands and I will hand you your Tanakh, and then you can go back to your seat. So, Jackie, this is in alphabetical order, so Graham, Ryan, Cora, Phineas, Jeffrey, and Andrew. And we hope that this will be part of an ever-growing library that all of you have. So you got Mishkan Tefillah for your B'nai Mitzvah ceremonies, and hopefully if you join us for 12th grade graduation, you will also receive a Plaut Torah commentary. So this is to add to your library.
I'd like to take a moment and thank all of the parents and other family members that have supported the members of the confirmation class. Thank all of the siblings who have been patient throughout their lives. And thank the members of the board for being with us this evening, and all of those in the congregation who have come. Really, it's an incredibly special evening. We continue with the Emanu. The Emanu, depending on if you have the festival book or the Shabbat book in front of you, is on either 282 or 322. Please rise in body, posture, or spirit. As we continue with the Kaddish, depending on your book, it's either on 294 or 334, if I am reading my handwriting correctly. recall dear ones of the members of our confirmation class who have passed away. Remember the innocent in Israel and Gaza. All have died due to violence in the world. Those who have lost their lives to COVID-19 and disaster. Those with no one to remember them. And those who lost their lives in defense of freedom. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma Divrah, Chirutei, V'amlich Malchutei, B'chayechon, U'yamechon, U'vchayei, D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'bizman Kari, V'yamru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah, Mevarach, Ve'olam Omei Omaya. Yitbarak, V'yishtabak, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitale, V'yitalal, Shmei Kedusha B'rechu, Le'ela min kol birkata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, Tamiram be'ama v'yamru Amen. Yehei Shvama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'romav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved. Amen. As John plays the closing song, invite the members of the class to walk out in the same order that you came in, so everybody can greet you in the lobby.
Oh, say shalom, bimromav, Huya, say shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'yimeru, Amen. Oh, say shalom, Yisrael, Huya, say shalom, Hallelu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'yimeru, Amen.
Chag Sameach, everyone.
See you in the morning. I'll leave at 5 in the morning. Make sure I'm here. Last month, this never happened to me before. Always on time. I pride myself on that. Sorry, I'm sorry. Give me that reaction. I called Shelby. Jeez. But thank you for being so kind. Oh, how is that? It's an early game.
It was down at Mohegan Sun.
Yeah?
It was the theater with Lauren.
Wow.
They're just all going out.
Yeah, but is it fun? Exciting? Or?
I stayed to the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was fun. I mean, it would Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
It was so
Oh, yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool that you went. Yeah. I'll see you in the morning, Rabbi.
Thank you.
you like the speech?
Yes, it was good.
Thank you.
It was great.
It really was. All right, we're gonna get a couple, okay? I'm switching to portrait mode, so watch out. Oh, portrait mode. This one's right here. That was actually pretty good. Now I'm going back to color.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's say
Congratulations. Congratulations.
You wouldn't believe how insulated this is.
Sure.
It's like a
Should we stand like here or here?
Nice. Okay, so we take a lot.
Sure.
Because that way, when one person blinks, the other person isn't blinking, right? I'm going to back up and get everybody. All right, you happy?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me your name.
Lily.
Okay, I remember there was
So Kate Stella's grandma. Oh, nice
Yeah.
to meet you. Erica's mom.
So how old are you?
19.
All right.
Yeah.
And where are you in school? What are you doing?
I'm at University of Delaware right now. I just finished my freshman year.
Good for you. How'd it go?
Good. It was very
Do
fun.
you know where Kate's going?
Oh, I should know the thing.
Far away.
Oh, she decided to Seattle.
Washington.
Wow.
So happy.
I thought for sure it was going to be UNH or something. I was like,
Well, I figured that you would be able to leave your mother.
well, there she goes.
I'm really thrilled. I think it's going to be a fabulous thing.
Are they still in school?
No, they just finished. When do you finish?
This week.
Okay.
Friday.
I mean, she was so specific about what she. I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. I didn't care what school I went to. They had to do nursing, so I stuck with it all the way through, and I did years of nursing. But Kate knew since she was a little girl that she wanted to do something with water, something with marine biology. In fact, when we used to play the guessing game, the animal guessing game, with both Kate and Alex, we used to tell them we can do any animal, but nothing that's in the ocean, because they knew everything.
Well, one of them had the, which one had the orca?
That was Allie.
But what'd she call it? She called it something.
Orky?
Something,
I don't remember what it was.
Oh my gosh, I had it in my phone.
And she said she wanted to go see them, and they took a plane to Washington to see an orca. I mean, you know, it was
What
over the top of high school.
You're next. You had a nice destination. So.
Delaware was just perfect. The weather was really beautiful. Yeah. What are you going to study? All right, Lily, what are you going to study?
Marketing.
Are these yours? They are mine. I'm leaving them there. He's going to come tomorrow.
Oh, I love that. You're saving your spot.
Well, it's not like it's going to be crushed, but
rough shape.
Wow, you took their services home with them. Thank you for all your help.